Hi, peasants. Hi, kings and queens. I want to say first and foremost that I'm honored that you are joining me today on my very first YouTube video. I want to start by letting you know a little bit of why I am starting this channel. I, for years, have been telling people that I want to review TV shows and movies, just give insight on why I recommend it, why I liked it, and why I absolutely hate Wonder Woman. But that is not the topic of today. Anyways, let me go into a little bit about the format. So the format of the show is we will quickly just jump into the review of the particular TV show or movie, then move on to the segment where I have a co-host for the day. And then from there, we move on to a part of the show where we have a more open discussion on the broader sense of the TV show or movie, whether in regards to mental health, sex, why did I say it like that? Sex, or substance abuse. I would also like to say that, nope, there was nothing else I would like to say. So, without further ado, I would love to tell you a little bit more about Soul by Disney and Pixar. So Soul follows the story of a man named Joe, who is a middle-aged African-American band teacher in New York. He has dedicated his entire life to music, in particular jazz, and he finally gets the break that he believes he deserves by auditioning with one of his idols named Dorothea Williams, and gets the opportunity to play with her for a hopeful great career. Now, on his way home that day, he's not paying attention to his surroundings and unfortunately falls down a manhole. Now, that's where the real story of the movie begins. He ends up headed towards his afterlife, but attempts to prevent it at all costs now that he finally is able to live out his dreams. By doing so, he ends up in the Great Before. And this is a place where souls begin their lives before they head down to Earth to start their real, actual life. Now, this whole situation of him being in limbo really starts the adventure of the movie. He meets a soul named 22. This leads to a series of adventures with 22, who is adamant about not going to Earth because they don't really have gender, they believe that Earth is not worth living because it's just treacherous. Now, Joe does want to return to Earth and sees 22 as the opportunity to make it back to Earth. Through a crazy series of events, Joe ends up embodying a cat, and 22 ends up in Joe's body. While 22 is in Joe's body, that is really when 22 really sees the purpose for living. And that's really where you discover the fundamentals of the movie and the magic in everyday life. I guess I spoiled it a little bit, but that's fine. But it's a great adventure, and I am looking forward to reviewing this with my friend. So without further ado, let me introduce Jaslene DeAmor. All right, I would love to welcome my first co-host on my very first video. That is Jaslene DeAmor, who is one of my good friends here in Orlando. Welcome.
Hi, it's me, Jaslene DeAmor from Orlando, his friend.
Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a 2-year-old drag queen. I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I am a scientist by day, drag queen by night, sometimes whenever I want. And I'm very, very excited to be here.
Thank you. I'm very excited for you to be here. Now, let's just jump into the movie review. Now, what was your favorite scene of the movie, or what did you not like? Did you like the movie?
I liked it. It was cute.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything that stuck out to you?
A lot of things, actually. I feel like even though it's a movie that's possibly targeted more towards like a younger audience, the themes and the topics that are touched are very relatable for depressed gay adults.
Yes, yes. I agree. I agree. It's funny because I think we're the first generation that we grew up on movies, whether they were Disney, whether they were Pixar, whether they were that other production company. DreamWorks.
Shrek.
We were really the first generation that was brought up on animation, like just a huge amount of animation. And this movie, although it is catered towards children, has a lot of adult themes.
Yeah, I agree.
The main one, unfortunately, is death.
And The Meaning of Life by Kelly Clarkson. Stream it. She's hungry.
But no, it was very beautiful the way that the director undertook this movie, because it's very non-denominational. You know, there's no statement about hell. No one ever says heaven. No one. We kind of interpret the Great Before kind of as a limbo, but they call it the Great Before, which was really nice. It felt magical.
That didn't make no sense to me. I fucking hated the Great Before. I was like,
why?
Why are you having these little fucking souls learning these skills and what they're going to experience on Earth and like all these things to earn their pass to, you know, go to Earth, and to be born as a dumb baby who doesn't know what's going on, who doesn't know that once they turn 18 they're going to have to pay bills and vote or register for the fucking military.
That is true. That is true. And really that goes to what 22 was fearing for the hundreds of years that 22 was alive. 22 did not want to go to Earth because they saw it as a time of suffering. You know, whether you led a sedentary lifestyle, whether you worked too much, and ultimately your demise. 22 did not want to feel any of that. So really it's up to every individual's interpretation of the movie. But no, you bring up a good point.
Yeah, that was like the only thing I didn't like about The Great Beyond. I think it was cute how Joe, for example, how he was trying to show what he thought was what gave his life meaning and what was making him feel complete. But in reality, it was none of that. He had everything he needed and wanted already. He was just too blinded by, you know, playing with Dorothea Williams and fame and all that came with notoriety of being a good jazz artist. And he was already a great human being, surrounded by great individuals, great friends, awesome community, and he was just blinded by that desire. And you know,
exactly. No, I agree, because he thought that if he achieved a certain amount of success, that his life was going to be better or he was going to be enlightened. But the truth of the matter was that he had what he needed, and that goes back to him inspiring his students. It goes back to him living his jazz musician lifestyle, whether it was by working with Dorothea Williams or not. But other than that, I want to skip over to something that I found very beautiful about the movie. Towards the end of the movie, when 22 has possession of Joe's body, and the movie just does such a great way of taking these couple-minute pauses and lets you see through the eyes of Joe, living as 22, that how beautiful and how magical life is in these small, brief pauses. Everything else kind of drowns out in the movie, and you see the first example, I believe, is when they're in the subway. I think it's when they're in the subway, and there's a musician playing in the subway. Joe, who is the cat, is just screaming at at Joe, who is 22. This is so confusing to try to explain this right now. But Joe is looking at this musician, and he's playing music, and you just see 22's first
genuine reaction
to the music, and it is just beautiful and so powerful that it just resonates with you. Actually, I just thought that was the second time. The first time was when Joe, 22, first tried pizza. And that scene was really cute because there was an explosion of flavor in his mouth, and he got so excited. It was just delicious, and he loved it. So that was the first one. It was the tasting of the pizza. Then it was the subway with the musician, and then
the interaction with Joe's student when she showed up for rehearsal.
But the last one, which I think was the most powerful one, which was just completely quiet, was when the leaf fell from the tree, and it just started to just wave down, just slowly, and Joe is just watching it fall from the sky, and it just gently lands in his hand. I thought that was just so beautifully done, because that's really when 22 realized that, oh, okay, so this reality isn't so miserable. This reality isn't so evil. There is a purpose of living, and life can be beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just like being appreciative, because I feel like we are like so numb and like unaware of what actually surrounds us, and just like having 22 take possession of Joe's body and having these like first time reactions to everyday interactions, and including the people that he comes into contact almost every day, including his mom at the barber shop. He just has, just like us, his way of acting and his routine, and this I almost said monogamy. The gays are shaking. and like,
you're talking about his monotonous lifestyle?
His monotonous lifestyle, because he doesn't take that second to like listen and actually be present and interact with the people and everything that surrounds him. Like, I get it, his drive and ambition is just like what's making him keep pushing forward, but 22's interaction with everybody that's part of his day-to-day life, they're beautiful. He sits at the barbershop and actually listens to his barber. He reacts genuinely to his mom, even if it was in a way that Joe wouldn't really react, but it was just 22's like authentic reaction, and it wasn't like a almost computerized, this is how I usually interact with you everyday thing. And I freaking love that. It just comes into being present and acting accordingly to whatever stimulates you.
It's true. He did leave such a one-track mindset that I also noticed when he didn't die, when he fell down the manhole, that was a prime example of how he wasn't paying attention to his surroundings in life. He was on his phone, actually on his way to the manhole. He almost had a couple...
It was probably on Grindr.
He had a couple...
He fell through the manhole looking for some manhole.
He had a couple times where he was near to death, and really, it was when he was on the phone, distracted, he fell down the manhole. But no, that goes back to where he was just so distracted through life, where he ends up dying through a manhole. He wasn't paying attention to his barber. He wasn't telling his mother really what he wanted, and he just needed to take control of his life the entire time. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the cast. They have an amazing cast. For those of you who do not know, the main character, Joe, is actually voiced by Jamie Foxx, who is a stud muffin. Could get it all day. And then the second character, who is 22, is voiced by Tina Fey, who you actually kind of look like.
Bitch, I am Tina Fey.
Yes. And then one other cast member that I do want to bring up, actually two, his icon, his idol, who is Dorothea Williams, is actually voiced by
Angela motherfucking Bassett. Bitch.
I can't believe you actually met her.
Talk about legendary.
Can't believe you actually met her.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm
Tribeca
jealous.
Film Festival.
How did you meet her?
Oh, I am in a documentary called For They Know Not What They Do. And
Tongue twister.
yeah, bitch. Perdónalos porque no saben lo que hacen. En español. That's what Jesus said.
Are you not going to tell me about that?
Oh, shit. Damn. No, our documentary premiered at Tribeca Film Festival. I believe it was in 2018. And she was one of the judges. And
Really?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
I went to take a picture with her and she was like, oh, I'm going to see your documentary next. And I nearly crapped my pants. Not nearly. I shat my pants.
Oh my God, no, I couldn't imagine. I've known a couple people that have actually met Angela Bassett, and all the pictures I've seen of her, she's actually like 5 foot tall.
She's very short. She was wearing like this cute blazer, very feminine, and she had Converse on. It was so like chic and
like
stunning.
it.
Black don't crack, bitch.
But I wouldn't expect anything less from the queen, legend, Angela Bassett. Timeless. And lastly, the last cast member that I wanted to talk about is Felicia. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Felicia Rashad, who is Joe's mother in the movie. And she's a legend in her own right. She was actually the mother from The Cosby Show. Now, again, I just want to thank you so much for being on my first episode of my YouTube channel. And I want to award you with my first Oscar. His name's actually Oscar. No trademark with the Oscar award-winning Academy. There you go.
This is the second Oscar I've heard held in my hands this year. The other one was taller, brown, and gorgeous.
No.
Thank you to the Academy. Thank you to everybody who voted. It's been a pleasure. Well, it was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, so come on this journey with my friend Joe. #King.
Missing.
Ay, ¿qué es esto?
It's fine. Listen, if you mispronounce my name ever again, Victor.
Joe.
Yeah, I did that. I had to read
Qué feo.
it to filth. They to filth? Her to filth. Anyways,
let us know what movies or shows you would like for Joel to watch. Hopefully I'll be back. If a lot of you subscribe, maybe I'll get a percentage of whatever he makes.
10
Makeup is not cheap.
cents.
My Instagram handle is at Vico Vicasto, VICO,
You can check her page out for bookings. She does do private events, private parties, and she does perform locally here in Orlando. Or
wherever I want. If they want me. If you want me, I'm there.
So, and most importantly, comment down below on exactly what she was saying, whatever you want me to review, if you want me to talk about a specific topic, or...
And let us know what you guys think. I know this is his first video. It's my first time making an appearance. So anything you want to watch, please make sure to leave it in the comments. Share it. And
thank you so much for being on my first show. Again, please share, comment, like, tweet.
Don't cyberbully him. If y'all need leave negative comments, I will personally go put my tucking tape all over your nose and your face, and it's freaking gross. That is not cool. If you don't like it, keep it moving. We both are very depressed individuals. So the last thing we need is fucking internet trolls being nasty.
False. I stick to my antidepressants. That one does not.
Yeah, I took myself off medication. The only thing I take now is Descovy. Rest in peace, my kidneys.
To the two of us. And with that, the royalties is over.
Se acabó.